Hi there and welcome back to Model Horses, of course. Today on this video, we'll talk a little bit more about some other wood-carved horses that I recently found interesting, so I thought I'd share the information with my loyal viewers. These particular horses were made by a company called Grand Wood. It was in production from about 1940 to about 1980. They're originally blocked out by machine, but then they are hand carved for the finish work details. Not a lot of information on the company, but we have found some of their advertising stuff and several of their horses over the years. They're not quite as popular as last video's Henri horses, but I think they're really cool and they have a lot of character. They are carved of solid wood as opposed to a company like Red Mill that does the crushed walnut made to look like wood. These are carved of solid wood. The most common species I've heard are like ash, walnut, and pine. And it's really interesting, like the differences in these horses. They are mostly unpainted, so they let the wood be the color of the horse. And I really enjoy how they use the graining of the wood and maybe just a little bit of detail on the manes and tails and legs to kind of bring out the character. So this particular one is called Wyatt's 2, an Arabian horse, and he's of a much lighter golden hue, and you can see it better on his offside, but you can really see the graining of the wood, so you can see the different swirls of the grain of the wood. And I think it helps because a lot of the Grand Wood pieces are a little more static. They mostly did animals, dogs, cows, horses, and they tend to be a little more static, standing in place. So I think bringing out the graining of the wood really adds to the piece, and then just a little bit of detail. So they painted on this piece mane, tail, legs, and hooves to kind of bring out that horsiness without interrupting like the use of the wood itself. Then this guy, he is the 9-inch Arabian. He's a much darker wood. You don't see as much of the graining. It's mostly just, and he doesn't have any paint on him. It's mostly just the sculpture itself that speaks for itself. And then this piece, the mule, I really love. I don't know how they did it, but he's a much lighter, he's the same, kind of in the same color family as this Arabian, but he's a much lighter piece. But the way that they sculpted him, they let the graining and then they added some detail to it to bring out the coat of the mule, because they tend to be a little shaggier, look a little bit more, less sleek than the Arabians. And they let the graining of the wood, and then they added just a little bit of extra scratch to the wood to bring out that coat of the mule as opposed to the other two horses. I love the character on these pieces. They each, I mean, the mule just looks like a mule. The Arabs have the characteristic of their breed. I love the sculpture of these pieces and how they were able to work in wood to bring out the character of the horse itself. So I really love these Grand Wood pieces. They're not being made anymore, and there are no markings on them whatsoever. No carving, nothing, no initials anywhere. So you just have to know what they are. Originally, some of them came with like paper tags. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 over the years that'll just have a paper tag either around the belly or the neck. And of course, those are lost instantly. So they're very difficult to find. Most of the time you will find them with absolutely no markings, no nothing. And it's kind of nice because then if they're in an antique store, the antique dealer will have a challenging time finding them. Whereas somebody who knows what a Grand Wood piece is, I mean, you just instantly are drawn to them. The way they sculpt, particularly the face and the ears, you can just see that quality. So these pieces are by Grand Wood. They are unique and interesting. I love the fact that they're all just so different with the species of the wood and the graining and the sculpture. They made a wide variety of different animals, so keep your eye out for them when you're out shopping, and you'll never know when you may find a treasure. So hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see what I can come up with next time. Thank you.